Hello adventurers and welcome to another video from the Steve Adventure Academy, and today we are talking about the Allen's collapsible sling. Now, this is not a firearms channel, so we're going to keep the firearms visuals to a minimum. You can see that this firearm is currently installed, and you can also see that everything is safe. And so we're talking about this collapsible sling that we purchased at Canadian Tire, our local retailer for Allen's products. And it is kind of an odd duck. So on the one hand, I really like it because you can grab the ends like this and then stretch it out and it becomes a sling that you can put over your shoulder. And then when you are going to be carrying the firearm, so if you're hunting birds, small game, that sort of thing, or you don't want the sling to be swinging in the breeze, which are substantial in the Bay of Fundy in this part of the world, you can cinch it down pretty easily whilst you're stepping over the various deadfalls and blowdowns and what have you, and it becomes a little carry handle or much reduced. There are some small pitfalls, unfortunately, with the sling that I will highlight because I really appreciate all of your views, and I didn't find any reviews of this sling online before I bought it. If I had known about the shortcomings before I bought it, I might have bought it anyway because I have kept it and I could have returned it because my local retailer is very good with their return policy. But I like what it does enough to try and overcome the shortcomings. The shortcoming is how much it extends. It looks like it's going to extend quite a bit, and in fact it does increase in length by several inches. So let's see if I can give you an idea how much that is. I'll pull it in as tight as it goes. It does have a limit to how tight it goes because of the Corby bolts that are normally, there are normally 2 Corby bolts in those 4 holes. They overlap each other. These holes are designed to all be bolted together. This is not an adjustment that's on their website or in the packaging. And so right now the sling is only as long as my swivels are apart. The swivels, by the way, are locking or securable, whichever you prefer, and insofar as they're not secured from theft or vandalism, they just screw into themselves, and so that they're never going to come undone by you accidentally pressing the button on a swivel, which I don't think has ever happened in the history of humanity. I don't know why they have to be that way, but they are cool. They will need a little bit of gun oil. And so we'll stretch out the sling to the modified distance, because previously it extended approximately 2 inches. Yes, all of this now extends about 4 inches. I'll show you 4 inches because my thumb, you can look at the relative distances. It's about 4, maybe 4.5 thumbs now. It used to be half that because there were these holes were overlapping each other and full of bolts. So the modification you can make is to extend your sling. Works on one side only. This side, I tried both, one and then the other, and then alternated. It only works on the one side. You can extend the sling. Digital photos of how it's folded might be a good idea because that is also a little bit complicated. But it does stay wherever you put it. So if you close it halfway, it will stay there. So I'll extend it. We can see that it's extending about 1.5 inches now. But it does stay. So if you've got a shorter firearm than the Winchester that is currently on, if you had a Marlin Papoose, for instance, it's really not going to be that effective because it only changes length about 2 inches. I was hoping for something that would change length in the order of about 6 inches. So I'm at 4. I'm not, you can see I'm not shedding tears, but I would love for the sling to have had an adjustable sling to either be honest about how little it's adjustable or to brag about how awesome its adjustability is. Good price though. The other thing that I would say, sorry Alan, I know an Alan, he's a great guy. I don't know this Alan, love to meet them. This tab has no positive effect on the sling whatsoever. You could potentially use it, I guess, to hang something on, but it looks like a pull tab that's going to let you shh. Not at all. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. This sling's been in the field for, let's see, probably 15 or 20 hours. I love to mess with it because it gives me something to play with while I'm hunting for the birds, successfully or unsuccessfully, and it just doesn't change, doesn't perform any function, except that if you go to remove it, it's two pieces, they're slowed together. If you take them out, there's not enough resistance in the webbing to hold a closed setting. It always slides to extended. And so it is mechanically necessary, but it doesn't perform any function other than aesthetically making the sling look a little bit cooler. It does look tactical to have loops on loops on loops. And it may have influenced my decision even a little bit. But I was really hoping for something that would with at least 6 inches of adjustability when you buy an adjustable sling. And so, Allen's. Is it a win? Yes, it is. I really like it because it gets rid of my sling blowing in the wind. If you're holding a bead on something and you're just waiting for them to step out into a clean shot, it gives you another point of contact. It's tactical, so it changed the look of my firearm a little bit. It rides on the shoulder pretty well, although if it was 6 inches of extension instead of 4 inches of extension, it would probably allow my body into it better. I'm not able to really do a tip down carry or cross body because the sling is just too short. But it's adjustable, so there we are. Things that I might improve. Well, I would improve the packaging by being more clear about how little adjustability it has. Or I would frankly adjust the design to offer more adjustability, if that's possible. I feel like it should be, because really there's a fair bit of material here and a fair bit of material is overlapped. I'm no engineer, particularly not when it comes to a friction set sling, but couldn't this thing be further down this way? Or is it all just overlapping too much? Anyway, all of the mathematicians and engineers in the group will likely have an answer for that. Hopefully it'll be a positive answer, although I can stand up to a small amount of criticism, as long as you don't use angry words. And on every way, and on every day, we hope that you are finding what we know here at the Adventure Academy, that a bad day of hunting and a supper of birch bark soup and pine needle tea, because y'all didn't get anything, is way better than a good day at work. From all of us to all of you, have a great one and stay sharp. Bye for now.